In the martial world, the Justice Clan and the evil cult have always been at odds with each other. Recently, the Justice Clan realized that the evil cult was becoming stronger and that the cult had also killed one of the clan's messengers. In response, the clan's swordsmen united and launched an attack against the evil cult. They kill most of them while the Darklord Yu curses himself and becomes a fish. Since then, the remaining members of the evil cult are living their lives hiding themselves from the swordsmen. The Darklord hides himself and his son Renji inside the ruins. 13 years later, Baishan plans to enroll Renji into the Justice League Academy, so that Renji can join the Justice Clan and live a carefree life. Baishan advises Renji to not let his identity get exposed and arranges a bodyguard for him named Li Dongfeng. The Justice League Academy in Mount Glory helps Justice Clan members learn fighting skills. Only those with extraordinary skills get a certification of good. While standing in line, Renji sees what happens to a cult member who tries to sneak into the academy. The chief guard Kang sends him to the slaughterhouse. Then, a rumor starts that the Darklord's son is sneaking into the academy. Renji is frozen with terror, but Li is the master of disguise. He transforms Renji into a beautiful girl and himself into a woman. In this way, they succeed in getting inside the academy but get encountered by Mingju, director of the discipline department. Mingju mistakes Renji for an innocent girl and Li is a cult scam harassing her. Mingju tries to catch Li but a male clan disciple Saiyan interrupts them, giving them a chance for Li to escape. Mingju scolds Saiyan for ruining her plan. Saiyan asks for something to wipe himself and Renji offers him a belt. This impresses Saiyan, who wants to be friends with Renji. However, he has to go to the bathroom first. Mingju believes that only girls are responsible disciples and happily goes with Renji to the entrance ceremony. On the way, she shows Renji a picture of him and asks if he knows anyone in the evil cult. Mingju knows every detail about the Darklord's son except his name, but she doesn't suspect Renji because he was dressed as a girl. At the entrance ceremony, the headmaster gives a brief speech. After the speech, the disciples start chanting about killing cult members. They also burn a puppet of the Darklord's son. Renji feels like his soul has left his body. He rushes to run for his life, but the fate ball falls into his arms and he's invited onto the stage. Renji tells everyone his name and says he doesn't have a sector. Luckily, Mingju says everything is acceptable unless they are from the evil cult. As a reward for catching the fate ball, Renji gets a wooden sculpture which equals 10 years of headmaster's cultivation. The headmaster transfers the cultivation into Renji. Renji suddenly feels lighter but then notices his breast implants fell off. Everyone starts calling him a boy in disguise, but Mingju helps him again and says Renji is just a flat-chested girl. To prove her point, Mingju kisses Renji and concludes that as she hates men, she would have never kissed Renji if he was a boy. Mingju tells Renji that he should never lie to her because she did so much for him. He also comes to know that Mingju is also a freshman, but she grew up in the academy, that's why she's so familiar with it. Mingju takes him to the placement test, which will divide the students into classes based on their ability. The examiner is Kang, who is hard on Renji as he doesn't have a sector. Despite this, Renji clears the speed test due to his gifted cultivation. The next test is on techniques. The students are asked to throw knives at a target and Renji shows his excellence here as well. However, Kang declares him eliminated. Hearing this, Bai Riming appears and says she will not accept this unfairness. Riming is a little girl from the Sunflower sector. Her sector is neither strong nor popular, but she's still proud of it. She challenges Kang to a fight and if she wins, Kang will let Renji pass. However, Riming gets beat up badly and Kang also mocks her father for being a coward. Riming says her father took really good care of her, so she will try her best to make a name for her sector. Her words remind Renji of his own father. He saves Riming and challenges Kang to a fight. Renji keeps dodging because all he knew was the cult's kung fu. While growing up, many cult elders taught him kung fu skills and also transferred their kai to him. The only defense his father allowed him to use was the Oblivion Slap. It's the technique of the cult's Lust Queen which can cause the slap victim to lose his kai. Kang recognizes it but falls unconscious before he can tell anyone. Everyone cheers for Renji when the academy dean walks in and says they've got the news that there's a cult member among the freshmen. The dean suspects Renji but Mingju says he got the kai from the headmaster. The dean calls Saiyan a witness who got affected by the cult's gourmet cream. Renji realizes it must be the sauce Li gave him that got leaked out to the belt Renji gave to Saiyan. Before they could find the traitor, Li jumps in and starts fighting the Dean Yu, making him chase Li outside. The results of the class sections are announced. Renji wants to be in the advanced class with Mingju but he is put in the problem kids class. The Justice League Academy holds the image of the best academy except for the problem kids class located in its far corner. It's full of weirdos like Saiyan and Riming. Yu comes over and tells everyone that each of them has some moral points which will be deducted when they do something indecent. If 100 points get deducted then that disciple will be eliminated. Yu tells the other disciples their points. Then Yu tells Renji that Renji's 100 points are gone because Renji beat up the examiner. So Renji is expelled. Seiyin and Riming try to stop this but get expelled as well. Fortunately, Mingju comes to the rescue again. Mingju says Renji was forced to beat the teacher so he shouldn't be punished. Yu tells Mingju that being the only daughter of the martial league's leader, she shouldn't go against the rules. Mingju joins the problem class because she thinks rules should be changed if they're wrong. Renji asks Yu a question that puts Yu confused. His question was if Riming goes to the men's washroom to give Seiyin toilet paper, will her marks be deducted for breaking rules or added for helping others? The headmaster comes over and informs them that Kang is unwell, so in his replacement, Yu will be the teacher of the problem class. There was an issue with dividing 3 girls in the problem class into twin rooms in the dorm, but now the problem is solved with Mingju's addition. When Renji reaches the room, he gets a huge shock that Mingju knows that he's the Darklord's son. Mingju finds out about Renji's identity while she was putting friendship dolls in his luggage. She was about to report to the academy, but Renji convinces her that he is just here to get the certificate and he meant no harm. Mingju couldn't say no to Renji's super cute face. Moreover, Mingju doesn't want anyone to know that she kissed a man. But she also warns Renji that if he hides anything from him then she will chop him into pieces. Now the only problem left is the single bed they need to share. Mingju agrees to share the bed, but she keeps moving in her sleep and Renji can't rest peacefully. The next morning they get familiar with their classmates and Yu joins them for their first lesson. The first lesson is fighting to stay in a circled area. Losers will get their 5 points deducted. Renji wants to be paired with Mingju but Yu says it will be unfair as he got extra Kai from the headmaster. So Yu tells Renji to fight against him. The first knockout is between Mingju and Jia Jingsu. Mingju wins because Jingsu can't see and gets out of the circle to attack a rock. The second fight is between Qingpinger and Kultum, which is won by Pinger's body slam. The next one is between Seiyin and Wang Dali, but they both lose because they don't use their Kai and get into a bromance. Bai decides to read a skill book and gets defeated easily by the mysterious sleepy boy Wao-Tu. The last fight is between Renji and Yu. Renji can't use the cult's Kai, so he's only relying on the Kai he got from the headmaster. But Yu is determined to expel him, so he attacks from behind. Yu makes a powerful Kai sword and attacks but Renji manages to withstand it. Renji's clothes get torn, but Yu tells him to fight hard and not worry about the clothes. Yu provokes Renji to use his hidden Kai, but Renji manages to gather all of the headmaster's gifted Kai in his palm. He knocks Yu out of the circle to win the fight. As Yu forcibly absorbed Shaolin Kai, it caused him to lose his hair, making all the disciples laugh out loud. They move forward to congratulate Renji, but suddenly his remaining clothes are torn up too. Luckily Lee comes out of nowhere disguised as the female dorm in charge and gives Renji new clothes. He assures all disciples that he will not let anyone get bullied anymore. Yu accepts his defeat and requests Lee to make a wig for him without even bothering to know who he is. Now both Renji and Lee can safely stay in the academy. Yu warns Renji not to attend his class again. Meanwhile, someone is keeping an eye on all these happenings in the problem class. In the next lesson, Yu says that disciples with more than 30 negative points will be expelled during the midterm exam. He also introduces them to a new student in the problem class. It's a beautiful girl named Tang Tang. Mingju and Riming try to befriend Tang Tang but she seems rude and cold. Tang Tang and Renji ask Ru about the extra mission to increase their points. It's a group activity, but Renji is willing to do it. However, his classmates suspect Tang Tang to be a cult disciple. Seiyin tells everyone that Tang Sector's leader once tried to join hands with the evil cult, so Tang Tang must be evil too. But Renji tries to convince them Tang Tang hasn't done anything evil. Tang Tang doesn't reply to any of them and walks away. Mingyu tells the disciples that it's common for other classes to look down on the problem class as it's difficult for us to get the certification. After hearing this, all disciples rush to get points from missions. The mission was to reap 10 plots of rice fields by sunset. However, only Tang Tang, Mingju, and Renji are working while others keep playing. This way, no one will get any points. Tang Tang uses a cart to reap. Due to Renji's kind behavior and to finish the mission, she offers other carts to complete the task on time. They thought each of them would get 10 points, but this task gives only 1 point to each of them. Seiyin apologizes to Tang Tang for misunderstanding her, and Renji invites her to complete more missions together to gain more points. But on the next mission, the girls and boys have to separate and clean the bathhouse undressed. Renji and Mingju help Tang Tang in designing a cleaning device, but Pinger turns on the water and they decide to take a bath first. Renji tries to escape but his skirt gets stuck and torn off, so he's stuck in the bathtub with the girls. Suddenly they hear a fight from the men's bathhouse and get out to check. Tang Tang stays behind to hand Renji his skirt. While coming out of the water, Renji accidentally pulls Tang Tang's shirt, revealing a body covered in bruises and scars. A disciple from another class comes to the bathhouse and starts mocking the problem class disciples. When Tang Tang reaches there, she calls him Master Shixing, and he brutally hits her. Renji tries to stop him, but Tang Tang takes the blame on herself and gets her points deducted. Shixing calls Tang Tang his study servant, but Tang Tang is not showing any resistance. Shixing believes that the problem class doesn't even deserve to have a bath, but Yu comes and disagrees with him. He suggests a friendly fight to settle this. Shixing chooses Renji as his opponent, but he orders Tang Tang to fight on his behalf. Yu announces the conditions: the winner gets 10 points and the loser gets -10. Shixing also offers Tang Tang a gift if she wins, but Tang Tang seems to be hiding something. Renji doesn't want to lose, but he can't hurt Tang Tang either. Suddenly, Tang Tang throws a smoke bomb and tells Renji that she likes being with them in problem class. When the smoke blows away, Tang Tang is found unconscious in Yenji's arms. Yu declares Yenji is the winner. Shixing stands up and points at Renji, saying that he is proof that she's a cult disciple. Shixing tells everyone that he has known Tang Tang for 10 years. She never talked to anyone in Green City, but now she is getting against Shixing. Tang Tang getting close to Renji shows that she has a relationship with him, a cult relationship. The disciples don't believe him. However, he brings out a hairpin that belongs to the cult's queen of lust. Tang Tang's parents committed suicide to save themselves from punishment, leaving their 3-year-old daughter behind holding on to this hairpin. Yu recognizes it. The cult's queen of lust and Tang Tang's mother were sisters. That's how the pin reached Tang Tang. Yu takes the matter in his hand, warning Shixing not to mess with his students again. He still believes it's impossible for a cult disciple to enter the academy. The new problem is that class disciples refuse to accept Tang Tang as she's a daughter of a cult disciple. Tang Tang runs away hearing this and Renji follows her. On the way, he meets Lee, who confirms that the Darklord also knew about Tang Tang's parents, as they were like a dream the Darklord couldn't achieve. Lee tells Yenji that Tang Tang's parents were not cult disciples. They were just continuously invited by the Darklord to join the cult until they committed suicide. After Lee's departure, Mingju finds Renji. He can't tell others everything directly, so he makes a plan. Shixing orders Tang Tang to disguise one of the boys of the problem class as the cult disciple, but Tang Tang refuses because she considers them friends. Shixing beats her, but Renji comes over in a costume and introduces himself as the Darklord's son. He beats up Shixing badly, but Tang Tang starts to attack him because she thinks the cult has destroyed her family. Renji brings Tang Tang to the center of the academy. He lights a fire to bring everyone's attention to him. All the disciples gather, but the headmaster says he will handle this matter himself. Renji causes a smoke bomb and others can't see anything. Meanwhile, he hugs Tang Tang and asks her to hit him, making her burst into tears. When the smoke disappears, Renji fakes defeat and lays down. Lee comes over and repeats the script Renji taught him. His words make everyone assume that Tang Tang defeated the Darklord's son and that the cult is a rival of the Tang sector. In this way, Renji clears up Tang Tang's name. But as Lee tries to escape with Renji, the headmaster catches them in a gold shield. Watch this next video. See you on the next one.